Welcome to the Great Lake Smoke Podcast Show. What we talk about basically is the love and the passion of cigars, pipe smoking, tobacco, alcohol, brothers chilling out and having a good time, laughter.
Well, how else are you gonna, enjoy a nice bourbon?
And you kind of went animalistic on tobacco buying, haven't you?
And the Rocky Patel Pure and Simple. I don't know, that thing just tastes so good.
Aficionados, and welcome to another Great Lakes Podcast Smoking Show. Oh, we're excited tonight. We do have a very special guest, and we are excited to bring him on. We've been pumping him all week, and I hope you're all ready to sit back, grab a smoke, grab a drink, and chill out with us. We got a lot going on, and for all you newbies out there, and boy, we have a lot of newbies out there, let's introduce ourselves to you. My name's Ron Peckering. This is my brother Bob.
How you doing, folks?
The man in the, well, they're both in lounges, but the headphone, the technician, the guru behind the scenes, Kyle Gesso.
Good evening, everyone.
And then we have Cousin Frank.
Hello.
Cousin Frank, the segment of Stump the Truth, the maestro, the one who makes us look like jackasses and keeps on going.
Except when Jeff is here.
And we do have a crowd here in the studio. Yeah, we have Jeff in the background, and we got ladies hanging out here. We got a lot going on in the background.
Winnebagos, we're giving them away.
Oh, listen to that, Winnebagos, you liar. Anyway, folks, just
that's what we're giving away. The winner gets a bagel.
No, let's put that to rest.
It has to be a New York bagel, by the way.
A New York
With
bagel.
a smear on it,
As long as it's got everything on the everything bagel. I'll take an everything bagel.
Tonight on Stump the Truth, we got a fantastic camouflage hat from Corona Cigar Company.
It's a cool hat.
It is really
Yeah,
nice.
it is. I want
Brand
that.
new. And see,
Nice.
still got the cardboard. I didn't even take it out, folks. That's going to be on Stump the Truth. That's the free giveaway tonight.
Nice hat. Jeff gave it to
Jeff
us.
gave us to give it to you. So make sure after our wonderful segment with our special guest, listen to Frank and try to win the beautiful hat from Corona Cigars. But anyway, moving forward, folks. One thing we've got to announce big. It's a biggie here. The Chicago Pipe Show is on. It is happening. It is scheduled, and we are super, super excited
But
about.
not on its normal date, though.
And
It's
boy,
been a
oh,
horror
boy,
trying to
oh,
get
boy.
it done. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been a
And
ton of work, and
But it's not the
a lot
first
of
weekend in May
setbacks.
this year.
I'm sorry, what's that, Kyle?
It's not the first weekend in May this year.
It's not going to be the
No.
first week because that was unavailable. So the new date will be July 31st and August 1st.
Hey, Kyle, are
Right
we
in the
on
middle
by
of
any
summer.
chance? Because I don't see us on Facebook.
Yes,
Unless,
we are on.
what's going on. We're on, huh?
Yep.
All right. Not seeing it.
So it's the
Yep.
middle of summer. It's going to be an interesting show, no doubt, because we have new location. But
Highlight location.
yeah, very, very different. But it's going to be cool. I mean, come on,
What could be bad?
exactly.
Pipes,
Pipes,
tobacco,
tobacco,
cigars,
cigars,
and a lot of people.
liquor.
And
I
some
mean,
good liquor.
it's a great combination.
Yeah, it's a family show now,
It's a family show. Yeah, well, all families come to that.
But that is the biggest announcement that we wanted to put out there for you guys, because everybody has been really asking us what's going on. I'm the vice president of the club. Bob and Jeff here are board members, and we just got back from our monthly meeting on Saturday, and we did get the confirmation, so we're able to talk about it, and we're stoked, man. I mean, we're just really, really excited.
So listen to us, folks. Do not listen to the negative stuff that's out there, because a lot of people are blowing smoke up everybody's ass, plain and simple.
Just so you guys know that that's happening at the fuck, I can't remember the name.
What's going on? What we're talking about in general is, unfortunately, because we had to take this date because of the all the closures that's going on, and we had a deposit, a heavy duty deposit last year at the Westin
As
before
you
we
can
were shut
imagine,
down.
Yeah.
So
lot
it
of
was
money.
either
It was
take it
Or lose it, and we weren't gonna lose that kind of money.
So we did not want to use those dates. We apologize to the other two, I guess, pipe shows. I think one's in Ohio and another one. And we also are very close right after the Las Vegas cigar show.
But it was no, it
But
was
we
no
had
choice.
no choice.
No
No
choice.
choice. So we
So-
apologize.
It was either that or we don't have it. this year.
Yeah.
Right.
And we weren't gonna lose the money, so.
No,
that's-
no.
That's it.
And we're all dying to
So
have it.
sorry, but you know, if anybody feels a little pissed off that we were close to their shows, but it's not on the same day. So hey, more shows the merrier. That's the way I look at it.
Absolutely. No question about
Right,
it.
and it's, you know, you can go from one weekend to the next and the next, and it's continuous entertainment, man.
Well, we
That's what
missed
we
all
got.
last year, so we all looking for entertainment. I mean, that's just
Absolutely.
it. So unfortunately, that's where it is. Folks, we can only ask you, hey, put your watch party on, share the show, get the word out to everybody you know, you don't know, you know, even if you don't smoke, if you'll enjoy
You're
the
not
show,
smoking. What are you doing here?
well, they do it for us. We're somebody, you know what I
Even
mean?
if, even if you have family members somewhere, they'll watch just
Absolutely.
because they want to see how bad you guys look. You know, unlike myself, I'm the better looking of the three.
Oh, man,
Oh,
listen to
listen.
this crap, you know?
Wow,
Well,
is it getting?
Wow.
It's
my
getting
God.
deep with the youngster talking.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. The young blood of the family.
And I'm the
Ay,
best
ay,
looking out of
yeah.
everyone, so
No respect. Yeah, you play it, Kyle. I mean, really. Oh, man, he just hammered us.
It's okay, we'll get him.
Oh, we will. So get the watch party out, folks. There's so many people who jumped online. Chris Patterson, man, how you doing, bud? Ron, Chris, Bruce. Oh, Bruce.
Oh, wow.
Bruce, you can play tonight. You can win that.
Oh, wow, I don't know about
Bruce said he's smoking the Tempest Nicaraguan Bradley cigars.
Nice.
That's good for you, Bruce.
There you go. Dave is up in Milwaukee. It was great hanging out with you on Saturday.
Nice,
Dave,
Dave.
thank you.
Hope to see you soon again.
The one and only, the legend, Alan Gold. What's up,
Alan.
Alan? How are you? Brad Burka. How you doing, Brad? Brad is saying hello to Michael. I don't know
Thank
if you
you
know
very
him,
much.
Michael. Are you familiar with Brad Burka? Yes. you are.
Burko. That's one. That's already put one in the books for Ronnieism. It's Brad Burko, not Burka.
Burka.
Burka? I didn't play Burka. I said Burko.
no.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Let's go to the
Let's-
videotape.
let's-
Forget about it.
Let's rewind the
Brian
tape and listen to
McGuire
that.
from Believe. How are
Ryan,
you?
hey, what's
Big
up?
Tom. Oh man, it goes on and on and on. But anyway, all right, folks. So again, you got the big announcement. That was big for us. We couldn't wait to push that out there. We had a wonderful time at the Chicago Pipe Club meeting Saturday night at Arlington Pipes and Cigar. A big shout out to Chris, Ryan, and Amu for putting on a spectacular meal for us and holding us open till
We
late
are
hours.
always
Late
thankful.
Yeah.
Always
you.
thankful.
Thank
I mean, Chris always puts out a spread that's unbelievable, just for the fact that we're hanging out there. You know, it's a great
does.
place. It really is amazing.
But anyway,
And for all you pipe smokers around the Chicago area who are feeling lonely, come and join us.
we're always
There you go.
looking for new members. And again, we'll have a free pipe for you. If you're a newbie, I'll give you a free pipe and lots of tobacco to appease your palate and figure out what you like. And we're once a month. We're back there on the March 20th or 27th or 20th.
20th.
On the
20th.
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 Join us, and then you'll learn more about the Chicago Pipe Show coming up at the end of July, beginning of August.
I'm smoking something I never smoked before tonight, and I mean, I just started the cigar, and I'm quite impressed.
I told you.
I'm quite impressed. I mean,
We're going to talk to one of the heavy hitters of this cigar in just a moment.
yeah.
sure.
So
I-
save your compliments and let's get to him on the short.
I was going to get into critiquing it, but no.
No. Not yet.
No, this is a good smoke, man.
So
Wow.
to do that, though, we do have to do some business first. Folks, we are looking for new sponsors. By the way, we are going to have a lot of new sponsors coming out shortly. A lot of companies we met about a week and a half ago down in Florida, and been talking to a lot of new cigar representatives and boutiques, and some of the old guys.
And hopefully you'll be able to
and-
get all their cigars all over this country.
Yes,
Soon.
yes. So looking out for a bunch of new sponsors, and we always look for more. Obviously, it helps us out to continue the show,
Yes, the
get
price.
those wonderful gifts out to you, and gets us to go to events. And Bob and I just flew down to Florida for the big event down in Smokem, down in Boynton Beach,
$35.
Florida. It was fantastic. The night before, we had Rocky Patel
Like I
and
said,
Rick
you gotta know
Nish,
how to shop.
and it was an amazing Patel experience. So it was good. It was good. But in the meantime, sponsor time. Let's do it. Go ahead, Kyle. Hit the sponsors right now.
First sponsor is Johnny D's Teas out of Lake Villa, Illinois. They're a veteran-owned company that take great pride in their work. Their goal is to not only fulfill one order for any given customer, but to earn all future orders by offering the best products at unbeatable prices. Ask their repeat customers and they'll tell you that their quality is always the highest while the prices are the lowest. And shop any of their American Veterans collections, and 25% of all proceeds will be donated back to the Veterans of Foreign Wars or the American Legions. And the next
Our sponsors are DAV Cigars out of New York. Decades of experience combined with true love and deep understanding of cigars result in the highest level of standard of each DAV hand-rolled cigar. Next sponsor is RNA Treasures out of Tampa Bay, Florida, the last of a legacy. The last inventory from Thomas Cristiano in a warehouse where everything is aged and well kept for all your pipe and smoking needs. And finally, the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club, one of the largest and oldest pipe groups in North America, with the largest pipe show worldwide. Every first weekend in May. Always looking for new members, and if you're interested, please contact via Facebook. And now, back to you, Ron.
Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate that. And folks, I know everybody's waiting for our special guest. He is amazing. He's part of this guy. You all know who this guy is. Yes, indeed. This is the Bradley man himself, Alan Rubin. And we got one of what do you got there, Kyle? Oh, yes, show. We can all show. Bob, let's show.
The Shamrock.
There we go. Yeah, look
Nice
at my side,
Shamrock.
Bob. You're out of view.
Nice looking cigars, boys. Got
Anyway.
any more?
We got Mike Serota, folks, from Alec Bradley Cigars. He's a bigwig. Yeah, he's joining us. So we're gonna talk to him and we're gonna learn more about Alec Bradley. Welcome aboard, Mike. How you doing?
Let me tell you something, guys. I am so excited to be on the show tonight. I appreciate the invitation. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thank you very
Thank you for
much.
coming on,
We
man.
are excited for having you too, taking out your time for your night and the probably nice warm Fort Lauderdale.
I won't rub it in, but yeah, it's pretty beautiful outside.
Well, Frank rubs it in every time to us anyway. He's up in Lake Mary, so
He's that type of guy, though.
yeah,
No, I
oh,
don't
yeah,
rub
He is that kind of guy. He is.
yeah. He's a ball buster, no question about it.
I rub in a little moisturizer,
Yeah, see,
little tanning oils,
it's up over there for him. Yeah,
some tanning oils that we need down here, Mike. You know, the tough things in life,
The struggle is real.
the struggle is real.
Well, let me tell you, we have a beautiful night here too. We can't complain. It's only 20 degrees. It's windy. The snow on the ground is just
But
turning
we're
to ice.
indoors.
So it's spring.
It's spring here.
almost,
Yes.
almost spring. But spring training has started down in Florida and Arizona, so good for them. That gets us in the mood. So, Mike, tell us a little bit about yourself. We know I can say you're a New Yorker like us,
I am.
and take it through
Yes.
the world.
We're from New York. Like
Brooklyn.
That would be
So I'll tell you all about whatever you want to know, but I just have to know how two guys from Queens
yeah.
Yep.
end up in Chicago,
We went via Brooklyn.
So you,
And we made a wrong turn.
so you have to tell me.
Like Sheepshead Bay, somehow we kind of like looped around.
Somebody said bang a left, and you did.
Yeah. Stage left, three.
We went out
down.
fishing, and somehow we wound up here. I don't know.
We had to take Fredo out to the Great Lakes and do a number on him, and we couldn't go back.
So baseball team allegiance, like what do you got? Because
of course,
okay,
Yankees all the way, and now here I can't do with the Mets like my cousin loser Frank there. So I'm a Cubby fan up here in the National League.
okay,
So,
That's
it
fair.
is what it is. But
That's
Yankees
fair.
all the way. Mickey's my idol, and that's pretty much yours, right?
Yeah. When I was growing up, the Mickey.
Well, no, I think Bob's idol was Honus Wagner growing up.
You're right. It was.
Honus Wagner and Ty Cobb. Bob's just a little older than all of us.
Yes, in
so-
fact, I remember when I had him sign my card.
Damn, I always thought it was Ernest.
Well, those were wrapped in like cigarettes, so that or some
Yep.
kind of cigar or
Smoking
cigarette.
back then,
It was it wasn't bubble gum.
No.
They were not, and they were non-filters.
And he stopped it because he didn't smoke. So
Yeah.
not many made of him. But anyway, so you went from Brooklyn. Did you go right to Lauderdale? You went
I
to
did.
Colorado?
You don't have much of a choice when you're 8 years old and your parents say we're moving to Florida. So right from Brooklyn, right from Canarsie, Brooklyn, down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and grew up down here. And you learn to appreciate what Florida has to offer. And I love living down here. And my family's down here. My mom's down here. I'm lucky enough to have my mom still around. She's 88 years old. God bless her.
Oh, God bless her.
So you're a
And,
Yankee fan because the Yankees used to play right there in Lauderdale. I used to go to spring training with them.
You know what? That's a great story because as a kid, my father used to take me to Shea Stadium. He was an old Dodger fan. And when the Dodgers left Brooklyn, he would never follow the Yankees.
Exactly.
So he didn't follow baseball until the Mets started playing. So as a kid, I used to go to Shea and watch the Mets.
There we go. I love you already, Michael.
If fast forward, we moved to Florida. I'm 8 years old, and the only baseball we had was spring training, and the Yankees had spring training in Fort Lauderdale. And those were the good old days. Reggie Jackson, Dave Winfield, all that. So I became a huge Yankee fan. And my kids are now Yankees fans. So, it's not a bad team to root for.
I like that.
Not a bad team to root for. So it's been quite an experience, and I'm just coming up on my 10th anniversary with Alec Bradley Cigars, and it's been a great ride. I love the company. I love the people that we work together. It's just been a phenomenal experience, and I love the cigar industry. I've been a cigar smoker since I'm 21 years old, so it was kind of a natural move to come into the industry.
Well, I love the story, and I'm not going to ruin it for you. I love the story of how moving to a new house and how you met the big guy.
The big guy.
So tell the people how you meet this wonderful guy.
So in 1999, my wife and I bought a house, and I pull up in the driveway, and my wife at the time goes in and she's measuring the windows for some window treatments. And I'm sitting in my car and I'm wearing a Cohiba hat. Alan Rubin, unbeknownst to me, opens the garage door, walks out of his house to get the newspaper in the morning. And he looks at me and he says, "Did you buy that house?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "You smoke cigars?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "We're going to get along fine." And a great friendship began in 1999. And we've been best of friends ever since.
Oh, that's great, man.
Do you still live next door to each other? Did he move?
No, because I ended up, my family and I, we moved to Denver, like I told you earlier. We moved to Denver late 2003. And it was 2011, and I was in a different career completely and was looking to make a change. And I called, well, let me back up. I was looking to make a change, and I wanted to do something that I was passionate about. And the two things that I absolutely loved was coaching and cigars. Well, as you can imagine, Ronnie, I don't know why, but the Yankees weren't calling. So I kind of cut out one of the options.
Well, our dads knew Gabe Steinbrenner and George Steinbrenner and Gabe Paul. So we went to a lot of Yankee games. But yeah, I know it was very difficult to make it, no matter how.
I'm sure it was difficult to leave a warm climate to go to a cold climate.
You know what it was, but I'll tell you what, the weather in Denver is phenomenal. You know, all 4 seasons, and the winters really aren't bad at all. So it was really it was a welcome change for us, and we loved it out there. It was 8 years. So I'm looking to make a change, and I call Alan one day and I say, "Hey, Alan, I'm thinking about getting in the cigar industry." And he said, "Well, doing what?" And I said, "I don't know, maybe starting a brand, maybe open a lounge." I didn't know, but I just knew I wanted to be in the cigar industry. And he said, "Well, give me a couple days. Let me see what I can come up with." Calls me back literally the next day. He said, "Why don't you move back to Florida, come work with me, and you'll learn everything from the ground up."
Wow.
Wow.
And that was
Awesome.
May 2011.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've literally done many different jobs at Alec Bradley. Inside sales, I took over the operations of the company, worked on the international side for a while. Then I took over all of the house accounts, the internet catalog guys. And about a little under 2 years ago, I was named the vice president of sales. So in effect, about 90% of the sales of Alec Bradley somehow flow through me
That's
and my
fantastic.
sales team. So it's been a great run, and I love what I do. I love the people, like I said, that I work with, and the people in this industry are just phenomenal people. It's just
It
one
is an
big
amazing
fraternity.
industry. It's as big as it is. It's still,
It's
is
still
very
small.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Amazing how everyone knows each other. It's
Yep.
incredible.
And
if
you know what
you will.
You know what the greatest part is? You go to the whether you call it PCA or IPCPR or RTDA or any of the trade shows, you go to the trade shows and you see all of the friendly competition.
Mhm.
And it truly is friendly. And you don't see that in many industries, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
No, same thing with pipe.
Not at all. Yeah, with
Yeah.
the pipes also. Again, let's say insurance companies are against us or against you guys, and they're making it very difficult. And there's so many of us smokers that we need you guys to unite and stay strong so that we can do a passion that we enjoy. And you have to stick together. What about that guy and that guy? I mean, that's typical of everything. But overall, you have to stay tight. You got to stay tight. There's no question about it.
You definitely do, because you know what? We're all fighting the same fight, and we're all fighting to protect our rights and freedoms for an adult choice to
Well said.
smoke a completely legal product. So,
Said.
the thing I like to say is, people drink, and you see marijuana becoming legalized all over the country and all over the world for that matter. But here you've got a perfectly legal product that just brings enjoyment, relaxation, and entertainment. And,
And great conversations
great conversations. And,
about everything and anything, no matter what walk of life you come from, what race, religion, work, white collar, blue collar, whatever it is, a cigar brings people together.
you couldn't be more correct. And you know what the funny thing is? I say to people all the time, nobody's pissed off when they're smoking a cigar.
Well,
And
Kyle,
they are.
It's a great statement.
You could be sitting in a
Kyle's always pissed off.
Kyle's always pissed off. You can see him over there. He's always pissed off.
That's my
you could sit in a lounge anywhere in the
resting
world,
bitch face.
and they could be somebody, a janitor and the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, and we're all the same.
You're absolutely right.
So
Absolutely
it's the conversations. You're right. I was out last week with a sales rep in Pittsburgh, and being in the cigar lounges finally. Just being in the cigar lounges and hearing the stories and hearing the conversations. I mean, it brings life back into you. I mean, I miss it. I miss being in the lounges.
Right.
So it was good to be back on the road.
it's a big
We
to
miss
do.
it too.
Yep. And today, I think the state of Texas and another state, anybody know the other state opened up? That's it. March 8th.
No more masks. No more
That's it.
nothing.
Opening up
Enough.
everything.
Enough.
Opening up everything, no matter what it is. That is huge.
That's a good thing.
That is
Oh,
huge.
man.
But then on the
Voucher.
negative side, the state of Georgia is trying to get under everybody's skin with a lot of new laws regarding premium cigar sales.
Well, that's
They're,
going to
they're
always be.
starting their nonsense over there now.
Which
so.
is kind of crazy if you think about
Oh,
it.
Mississippi, guys. I'm sorry, Mississippi. I'm getting
Which
notifications.
is kind of crazy.
Thank you, guys.
If you think about it, because there aren't any kids buying premium.
No, of course not.
No, they're
Of course
just
not.
doing those little vapes, which is really part of it,
right, which
and
is-
a terrible
which is-
cigarette.
For whatever it's worth. But the fact of the matter is, there are no kids buying $5, $8, $10, $20 sticks.
No, they can't
to
afford
smoke.
that.
Of
No.
course.
No,
And they
when
try
I
to
was
tie it
15, I
all in.
was buying like, a 25-cent
White Owl.
White Owl or
Yeah.
Garcia Vegas or,
Dutch Master. I'll
Dutch
never
Masters.
Master.
Yeah,
White
yeah.
Owl.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the
And
best
I
thing
thought I was cool.
the best thing about this cigar is it literally comes straight
But,
from the plant. You know, it grows out of the earth. You go out there, you pick the leaves, you let them dry, age out, you roll it together, and this is it. There's
And
nothing
you set it
other.
and you set it on fire.
And you set it on fire.
Exactly.
That's
right.
it. There's no other.
It's the weed. And the
that's
other
it.
weed people are saying the same thing about too. So, you
Yeah.
know, it's like, okay, weed is good, I guess.
Hey, listen, you know what? At the end of the day, this is a completely organic product.
Yeah.
It is.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
There's nothing added to it. There's nothing. It's dried leaves.
No chemicals, no paper. Yeah, I mean, it is.
As I've always said to the
Sure.
health nuts out there, this is leaves from a plant. I'm having a salad right now. Fight me.
Yeah.
Every veget,
I like that.
every vegan should be, smoking this because it's pure, man.
Especially those cigars that you have in your hand right now, because they're
Oh,
great.
that's-
So
You
let's talk about that.
Let's talk
I
about
mean,
this a little bit.
And before you do, Kerr, Barry, hello guys. Thanks for joining us after your show.
Hey,
Go
guys.
ahead.
Well,
Talk about.
So who do you want to talk about?
No, we're gonna talk about the cigar.
Well,
Go ahead.
sure, we'll talk about
You have gone crazy
Well,
since the time you lit it up. You've been dying to talk
You know,
about
I have been extremely impressed from the minute I lit this up. I never had the cigar before. This is the first, and it's wonderful. It's a really, really good smoke. It's a barber pulp. I love it, and then the taste. Frank, you had it before, and you
Yep.
told us about it.
well, see, you see, Michael, they get turned on to the good.
Look at guys be saying no.
They need you,
Because
Frank.
of me.
Michael,
They
don't
need
listen
you,
to
Frank.
the character. Don't listen to the man only smoked Padrones up till last year until the three of us finally got him to change.
Suddenly he's going to educate
Now,
us.
yeah, now he's
uh-huh.
the expert.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, forget about it. No,
This guy was born in 1961, and he's telling us how to do it.
No,
now.
Easy,
63.
1963. Don't
Okay.
age me, Bob.
The year
Don't age
before
me.
the Mets came around.
Yeah. He was still in diapers up to last year. So
So a
Wait,
funny,
the Benz. He's at the Benz.
a funny story about that Shamrock that you're smoking is this is the third year that we've released the Shamrock. I've never had one because we bring in the boxes. It's a limited run. Every box is sold. I never had one.
really,
So I'm in Pittsburgh last week and I say to my sales rep, I said, hey, Ryan, I need to find a Shamrock. So we walk into one cigar shop and he had some Shamrocks on the shelf and I bought the last 4 he had. So I smoked it for the first time because I was dying to try it. And, people have this notion that we just have cigars all over the place and we could smoke whatever we want. But when we have a limited run, it's literally every box is spoken for. So I finally got to smoke my first Shamrock that I bought at retail. And it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. It's a triple wrap. It's got the Candela, it's got the Connecticut, and it's got Habano.
Yep.
And just the flavors of the wrapper with the binder and the black market. And, it's basically, it's a black market cigar with, a triple wrap on it. And the flavors are it's just perfectly balanced. It's just a really nice cigar.
So, Mike,
we
there
did
was a
pick it
little
up
bit.
through the black market, but I think it's available in usual lounges.
I
No,
have a big.
all
I
kidding
have a
aside.
question for you,
Okay.
Michael. Because
Make it an easy one.
all right, I will.
Put him on the
It's
spot.
interesting. I read that it was a little controversial when it was first released because Filthy Hooligan and the Shamrock and an organization was out there trying to say, wait a minute, you're defaming, you're trying to make us look bad or, so what happened there? There was a little bit of controversy.
There was a little bit of controversy when we first released the Filthy Hooligan.
Right.
And honestly, how the
By
filthy
the way, love the name.
Love the name. I love
We
the
have
name.
Jeff Bryce in the house. Real Irishman, you know. He's
So
from
you know
Hell's
what?
Kitchen.
You know, in being in the cigar industry and just the way we operate here at Alec Bradley, we like to have a good time. We like to, you know, be social, and we thought about all the different holidays throughout the year. And the normal ones, you've got the Christmas holidays, you've got, you know, Father's Day and 4th of July, you're smoking cigars. And somehow it just came up that St. Patrick's Day is a fun holiday. You know, people go out and you see the green beer and you see, you know, the corned beef and cabbage and you see all this stuff. And we just, we had some cigars rolled and they came back. And I don't know if you remember this, but the original Filthy Hooligan was just a Candela wrapper. It wasn't a barber pole.
Right.
And the taste is very unique when you smoke a pure Candela. So we did that for a year or two, and then we ended up changing it up a little bit and adding the barber pole, which just gave it another dimension. And it honestly took off. And every single year, we've got customers, the tobacconists around the country that order the Filthy Hooligan. They never order enough. After they get their shipment, they're always calling saying, do you have any more hooligans? Happened again this year. And, you know, this year is kind of an ironic year coming off the pandemic and everything else. Nobody really knew what to buy. They didn't know what the business was going to look like. So I had customers saying, hey, you know, cut my order in half. One specific customer said, cut my order in half. Send me half the hooligans that I ordered. Send me half the shamrocks. Within 9 days, he called and said, can I get more? I said, they're gone.
Sorry.
You know, you gotta get them while you can. But it's you know, it's taken off, and people honestly look forward to it every year. And there's some tobacconists that order enough that they have it pretty much year round. But you know, it's a neat item. It smokes great. It tastes
The
great.
label is awesome. I mean,
Yeah.
the idea, whoever put the artwork on that, what a fantastic,
Great
fantastic, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
Really-
it's a fun cigar.
It is.
Really
it totally is. And it's really layered. There's a lot of layers to this cigar when you're smoking it. You totally kind of get surprised. Would be
Yeah.
there's always a surprise in it for you. The first time
It's
that
got a lot of dimensions.
totally.
You know, it's funny when Alan and Ralph is our executive vice president, when they blend cigars, they never blend for strength. They always blend for flavor. So if you notice, most of our cigars are not really on the bold side. You know, we play very well in that medium to medium full category.
Right.
And people ask all the time, well, I'm looking for a full body. I'm looking for a full body. And I think sometimes people confuse full body with full flavor.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
That's true.
There's a difference, you know. If you want to smoke something that's going to put you on your back, that's one thing. But if you want to smoke something that's really going to give you complete pleasure, and when you're done, you're not necessarily looking for another cigar because it gave you what you wanted. And that's kind of what we go for.
Yeah, yeah.
Another one that we got turned on to when we went to Corona is the 40s, Project 40. That's another great cigar.
I was blown away by the cigar. The taste is phenomenal. The price is even more outrageous. I didn't think that you could deliver that kind of flavor. Yeah, I like the Gordos. That's my my cup of tea. But I didn't think you could deliver a cigar at that price point that was this good. I'm blown away by it.
It's a great blend. And now
It
we
really is.
at late last year we actually introduced the Project 40 Maduro. So if you can find one,
We can't find it.
Can't find it.
when,
Cannot
when,
find
when
it.
you find one, smoke it because I'll tell you what, you're gonna love it.
Okay. I know a guy, but I don't know. He's not coming up to, saying anything here.
Hold on. Who's this?
I don't want to see it. I want to smoke it. Yeah,
For you, Bob.
that
Yeah,
looks
there you go.
great. I like it. Now put it in an envelope. I'll give you my address. You can't find it anywhere.
Is
Not
that a
even-
red label or
Not even
maroon?
Corona had it.
It's a maroon label. I will get some out in the mail to you.
Wow, I was dying to try it, but
I
nobody.
have a couple in my humidor. We don't have any boxes in the warehouse at this point. The
Really?
first shipment was completely sold out.
Wow.
So
We
we're waiting for
That's
another container, and that cigar is it's made in Nicaragua, and they're both. I mean, they're just both great blends and a great value, to be honest. So it serves a lot of purposes.
We
Now,
got-
why can't we find it? Is it because it's a limited edition, or is it
Nope.
that it's selling out so fast?
Yeah, it's not a limited edition. It's a full production run. But coming off the success of Project 40, the retailers snapped it up as quickly as we can make them. And when we come out with a cigar, look, coming after off the pandemic year, supply was an issue. The factories were closed for a period of time. And then by government regulations, when they opened up, they were only working at 25% capacity and then 50% capacity. So the amount of cigars that were being rolled on any given day was far less than normal. So we just couldn't keep up with demand as much as we tried, and we did the best we could. And I think we did a pretty good job. Every cigar company was affected by the supply issues.
Oh, yeah.
So the first shipment of Project 40 Maduro came in and went out. It was sold out. And we still, we're sitting with some back orders, and as soon as they arrive, this shipment will be sold out as well. So
Are you catching up though, or
we are catching up because things have opened up a little bit now. And, for one of our factories in Honduras, we sent down 2 pallets of plexiglass so they could set a plexiglass on the rolling table so they could put more rollers back to work.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
So, we're doing everything we can on our end, other than actually physically rolling the cigars ourselves, which you don't want me rolling the cigar. We're doing everything we can to get the production up to where we need it to be.
You don't have to
And,
recognize what.
But you know what? We're not going to ever compromise the quality. We're not going to put bad cigars in the marketplace. So it's very important for us to make sure the cigars are right. So we don't want to rush it, but we're doing our best to catch up and get.
Well, we got 3 people right in a row talking about. We got Orlando Perez says the Project 40 is what he's currently watching while he's on the show. He loves it. We got Douglas Schreg. He's got the Maduro Project as hot. And of course, our very own Bruce Stark says he just got a box of Maduro somehow, some way.
Bruce
And
is
he
always
loves it.
finagling something.
He's got
This guy.
something going, Bruce.
Man, oh, man.
It sounds like Bruce.
We can't get him, but this guy Bruce gets him.
No, you know what it is? You know what it is? Bruce got a guy.
He's got a guy.
When you have a guy, you got a
But
guy.
my guy, he doesn't know my guy, which is,
Which is a big guy.
Oh, man.
So
Hey,
what
Bob,
is,
Bob, Michigan ain't that far away. You can go visit Bruce and find out who his guy is, and
We got people. Don't worry about it.
Lito and Rocco are stuck up there right now. They just finished the business, what is going on, Michael, with now that things are opening up? Can we see anything new coming out? And anything going on as far as big events? Are you guys going to Vegas? Taking a booth?
If that happens.
Well, as of right now, TPE is taking place in Vegas in May, and as of today, it is on. So we will be showing at TPE,
Awesome.
and as of now, PCA is happening in July. So it looks like they're going to be opened up, and it's going to be business as usual. And I think there's a lot of pent-up demand. People want to get out there and they want to mix it up a little bit. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I missed not going last year. It was
But we missed it too. We were
yeah.
there 2 years ago. So since you're on and you're going to be there, are you open to having us do a live interview with you guys when we get out there? Because we do podcast show, we meet everybody, and we love to sit down in person and do an interview with you guys.
Absolutely. When we're off air, we'll set something up and set some time aside, and we'll get maybe Alec and Bradley, the 2 namesakes of the company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now work within the company, and they have their own line. They have the Alec and Bradley Blind Faith, Alec and Bradley Gatekeeper, which got number 5 this year.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
awesome.
And 95 rated by Cigar Aficionado, and they have the new one that came out late last year, which is the Alec and Bradley Kintsugi.
What
So
was that
3
name?
Kintsugi.
Kintsugi.
So kintsugi is a Japanese art form that when ceramics or pottery break, they put it back together and they use gold to fill in the cracks, and it shows that the finished product is actually more beautiful than the original product. And
Wow.
it kind of and the way the boys came up with that name is it's kind of like the cigar industry right now. Even though the cigar industry seems somewhat fractured with all the regulations and the FDA and all the fights that we have with all the states with taxation, that we bring the whole industry together to fight one common fight. And that's a beautiful thing, and that's why they came up
That
with
is a
the
beautiful
packaging is phenomenal. The cigar is incredible, and the boys have really done a great job with coming out with their first 3 lines.
Well,
So
we
maybe
were
we
with
can get-
Rocky Patel last Friday night, and he was telling us that, basically Rocky's time now is 70% of his time he's dealing with Washington.
He said
DC.
90% of his
Is that
time.
what he said? Well, Nish said
Nish
70.
Nish is pretty much running
Nish-
the operation now.
Yeah.
But Rocky's time is completely spent in Washington
You
fighting.
know first of all, I have to say, what a great group of guys they are. Truly.
Yeah, Nish and the Mish and Rocky.
Nish, Nimish, Rocky, and as somebody that's a member of this industry, the amount of time, the tireless energy that Rocky spends to fight the fight. Alan as well is on, numerous boards and in Washington D.C. and meeting with whoever he needs to meet with, and again fighting the fight. And it's unbelievable to see, like I said before, this friendly competition, these so-called competitors coming together to all fight together for the common good. So it's unlike anything you see in most industries. So
No, but everybody's got something to gain and something to lose if it's not done this way.
correct.
That's the reality of it.
Correct. So, it's something that has to be done, and the fight will continue. I mean, it's never going to go away.
Well,
it's
let's
never
hope it
gonna go
does go away and we win. Because
Yeah,
we
I
have
think
rights just like everybody else does.
Here.
we do. But, you see these taxations coming up in all these, various states, and New York State just increased their taxes, and California's a high tax state. And, it's cumbersome. And, what the local governments don't understand is when they put a large tax on cigars in, let's say, New York State, they don't get the revenue they think they're going to get because the consumers,
No,
are just buying
because sales go down.
consumers are buying the cigars in Pennsylvania.
Exactly.
So it's just it's sad, but look, they're trying to raise money and trying to figure out a way to do it, and I guess tobacco's got a target on it, so it's an easy target. But we're going to keep fighting. We're going to
But
keep
they're
fighting to
killing
protect
brick
our
and
rights.
mortar. They're killing cigar lounges. They're killing the industry. People, I mean, it's bad. It's bad. I mean, we see the prices from up here when we went down to Florida. Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God.
Night and day.
Night, absolutely.
It is
Right.
unbelievable. We're almost paying twice the amount, and that's just the taxation here.
Yep.
It's shocking,
It's a
actually.
little bit like living in Atlas Shrugged.
Well, whatever Atlas Shrug is.
It's a book by Ayn Rand.
Okay.
It's about the fact that people on one side are trying to make everybody else pay for everything else.
Oh, we know about that.
All right.
Hey, look, they just took Dr. Seuss off. He's no good. We can't even
Yeah,
get
I know,
Dr.
I
Seuss
know,
no more
Dr.
today.
Seuss.
The cancel culture. Yes, yes, yes.
Isn't that unbelievable, Dr. Seuss?
It is
It's
unbelievable.
pretty sad. It's pretty sad.
And Frank, today is what
Today
in
is-
history?
Mm.
Oh,
Whoa! He turns the table on.
Oh, you did it over.
Frank, I did my homework, Frank.
All
It's
right.
a bad day in history. When Dr. Seuss gets canceled, it's a bad day in history, and it will go down. It'll be on my next year's Stump the Chooch. So people, be ready.
Today is Dr. Seuss's birthday.
I know.
Ah,
they
there
did
you
it
go.
on his birthday too. That was really nice of them.
Yeah.
They care about people. We can-
Nothing but the best intentions.
Nothing.
Yes, yes.
Or not.
Michael, are you be going down to the farms, the factories? Will you be doing that shortly yourself to see how things are catching up?
You know what? I don't generally go to the factories, although I love it, because I'm like a kid in a candy store down there.
Yeah, and they give you the best.
Imagine so.
It's amazing being down in Nicaragua and Honduras. But Ralph Montero, our executive VP, Alan Rubin, and Alec Rubin go down on a regular basis. In fact, Ralph just came back from a 2-week trip where he was in both Honduras and Nicaragua.
Oh,
So production is there, the tobacco's ready, and we're just hitting on all cylinders right now.
So, Michael, Ralph was a very key component to actually Alan's continuation of the company, was he not? I mean, I was reading something that was kind of interesting. It was just an accidental kind of meeting when both of them, Alan was in trouble. I mean, he started the company back in what, 95, right?
96.
96.
Yeah.
So, and he started with an interesting cigar name and product. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, Bogey Stogies.
Bogey Stove.
Good,
So
I like
Alan,
that. Nice.
Alan, listen. First of all, you talk about my absolute best friend. So it's a pleasure to actually tell these stories because I love. Before I even joined the company, I just loved watching his success. But when he started the company with a cigar that was basically marketed to golf courses,
Right.
and living in Florida, you kind of think, well, golf courses are busy all year round. Well, he quickly learned that half the country doesn't golf half the year.
Yeah.
Right.
So he figured he has to change his model a little bit.
Right,
So that's
right.
when he started to evolve. But yeah, the happenstance meeting between Ralph Montero and Alan Rubin, it was literally, one was walking into a factory, one was walking out, and they just kind of like exchanged cards. And next thing you know, they had a meeting, and Ralph came to work for the company part-time. But anybody that knows Ralph, part-time for Ralph is about 65 hours a week. So
Workaholic.
Ralph has been in the tobacco industry his whole life. He started when he was a teenager down at Tropical Tobacco, which is one of his relatives. And he knows a lot about tobacco, knows a lot about blending. And, he's Cuban. So he knows the tradition and the culture. And it was just a match made in heaven. And they work unbelievably well together. They respect each other to the utmost. And they bicker sometimes, about certain blends and things of that nature. But I'll tell you what, I couldn't put my faith in two better guys than Ralph and Alan. They've done a marvelous job of building the company and putting out good products and at the right price point. So, again, at the end of the day, what we aim to do is provide the smoker with the best hour of their day. And if we could do that, we feel accomplished.
Well, that's big, considering, unfortunately, some companies had to fold. They just couldn't keep things going, the factories and the farms and just distribution. It's very hard. I mean, we got a lot of boutique cigar companies that are out there that simply put a fantastic product out there, but because of marketing and because of the competition, and because of COVID, a lot of new lounges in general, they don't want to take a chance on a new line because the shelf space is limited.
Well, that's the thing.
And it's expensive.
Shelf space is the big thing.
And not only that, but the user fees now that were imposed by the FDA, it's costly, and it's you have to have a real commitment. And we're fortunate that we had a stable portfolio and some old legacy brands and things of that nature, and we've got great relationships with the factories, and we can continue to prosper. But it's sad because there are so many really good cigars on the marketplace right now. It's a great time to be a cigar smoker. And I smoke everything. I smoke everybody's cigars.
Well, you have to. You got to know what's out there.
Yeah, and I enjoy it. At the end of the day, I'm a consumer.
Yep.
I was a cigar smoker before I was in the industry, so I enjoy smoking cigars, and it's not uncommon for me to get 2 packages a week of cigars that I've purchased from retailers around the country. And I love to support all these guys. And there's, like I said, a lot of really good cigars on the marketplace, and it really saddens me to think that some of these smaller companies were having difficult times financially and couldn't make it through, couldn't see the next day. And, hopefully things change and they can come back because there's, like I said, a lot of good people in this industry, and you want to see them all succeed.
How's Senator Rubio doing in Florida for the industry?
He fights for the industry. I mean, there's a lot of support, obviously, in Florida being, the home of a lot of major cigar manufacturers. But there's, Congress people, senators all over the country on both sides of the aisle that, support our industry and understand the value of it. In fact, I was in Pittsburgh last week, and I was talking to a gentleman who was telling me that, a senator basically reached out to them and wanted to know, teach me about cigars. Tell me about cigars. I want to understand this. I want to be able to make educated decisions. And we love that. Because at least they're willing to engage in the conversation to learn about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they learned about it, I think you said it earlier, there's not too many youths walking into a cigar lounge spending $10, $12, $8 on a cigar.
Mhm.
They're
No.
just not. That's not what they're going for.
No.
So it's a premium cigar product. It's an adult product. Smoking age seems to be 21 in most places at this point, and that's okay. We don't market to youths. We don't want to market to youths. We want people that are of adult age to make an adult decision whether they want to smoke a cigar or not, and we want to protect that
You
right.
just said it right there.
Youths.
We are adults.
You said youths, right?
Like,
Youths. Youths.
Yeah. 2 Utes.
That's the New
That's
York.
the Canarsie coming at me.
Especially when you
Did
need
you
them.
belong to the Raccoon Lounge too? The Narcy.
But the thing you mentioned is that we are 21 years and older. We're adults. We are old enough to make our own decisions. We know
It's
the harm,
ancient.
we
I
know
have
the
no
good,
idea how
but
old it
we
is.
should be
It's over
entitled
10
to make
years.
our own decision when it
Right,
comes to
pretty good.
smoking.
Listen, prohibition didn't work.
No.
No.
No,
Well,
not
depends
at
on who
all.
you talk to.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Bob,
For a lot of
it worked for the guys that were smuggling.
good point, Bob. But the concept didn't work, and
No.
you
Of course not.
know, I
They
think
want what they want.
yeah, I don't think that cigars are going to go away. We're going to continue to fight, like I said, and there's many people alongside of us. So we're fortunate that we have an industry that comes together for these type of things.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The only issue that I've ever had is when they raised the age to 21, is that we
You
have
were
our
20
boys
at the
and women in the military that go in at 18 years old.
Yeah.
And so some of them, were cigar smokers, and then we raised the age limit on them. Then they no longer can smoke a cigar on the base because it's a government facility, and they're underage now. So it's disheartening to know that we can trust these young men and women to go overseas, fight for our country.
kill
They can
people.
take a life, but
Give
we're
up
not
their
going to
lives.
trust. We're not going to trust them to
They can't have a cigar or
have a
cigarette.
stick.
Or a beer.
That's the same old story, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say. That's the same old story about they're not old enough to grab a beer, but they can go and fight, protect our freedom.
It's ridiculous. It really is.
So that's government and its infinite wisdom.
Well, shouldn't that be in the
Or
hands
non-wisdom.
of parents? I mean, that's the bottom line. We don't need Big Brother to dictate to us what we should do and what we shouldn't do. I mean, I'm hoping that everybody has a good family structure. You're taught right and wrong from the beginning, and this is a choice we make, plain and simple. I mean, I was smoking since I was like 15 years old, and my parents were okay with it. What are they gonna do? I walked in the house with a cigarette one day, and I got beat up, but the next day I came in with another cigarette. So I was like, okay, I guess you're gonna smoke now.
But that's because he came in on a Monday when Dad was off. Every other day he worked.
You know what, Bob? I have total 5 children. I have 3 adult children, and like I said, I just got married in October, and I have 2 8-year-old twin stepchildren, which I consider my own.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And my adult children, out of the 3, 1 smokes cigars. So it's not something I've ever promoted for them. I've never said, you got to smoke a cigar. You have to try it. My oldest son came to me one day and said, Dad, I really want to smoke a cigar. And he was about 19 at the time, and the legal age was 18. And I said, okay. And we sat down and I taught him a little bit about cigars, and he started smoking, and he doesn't, he probably smokes 2 or 3 a week, but he enjoys it. And like I said, it's an adult decision.
Yeah.
And I certainly wasn't going to advocate for them to do that when they were young. And I certainly didn't push it upon them, even when they became of adult age.
Yeah.
But again, it's an adult decision. And you know what? Just like having a beer, that's an adult decision that he could choose to have a beer or not have a beer.
But it should be your decision.
Correct.
Yeah.
No one should be telling you what you should and shouldn't do.
Correct. Amen.
I mean, I've always smoked, and my son does not smoke. He hates the smell of smoke. So, hey, that's his choice. I'm not going to tell him, oh, you should like it. No, if he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. That's it.
Yeah. So I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Anthony Fauci.
Oh, yeah. Well,
we won't
At
talk.
least you gave one message.
well, but my cigars are rolled in Wuhan.
Not the one you're smoking now, though.
No, not this one.
So
This is delicious, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm
really,
glad you're enjoying it.
it really is fantastic.
I'm glad you're enjoying it.
If we can stay on longer, we can get to Project 40, which we were hoping to do. but,
yeah.
we'll get there. So where are the farms? What exactly is your strong country background, would you say?
Well, it's fun. You know, we're pretty diversified. We have 2 factories in Honduras. We have 2 factories in Nicaragua, and we have a factory in the Dominican Republic. So we've got products coming from really the 3 major countries that produce cigars. So we've got a pretty nice balance. I mean, we have a pretty strong foothold in really all the countries. So it's nice because we have something pretty much for any cigar smoker, from something that's a little bit more mild, something that's a little bit closer to a full body, and we've got all the different regions, and we use tobacco from all over the place. So it's really nice because we have the ability to work with different tobaccos and come up with the blends that work for us. And black market, for instance, black market, we use a Panamanian tobacco, and as far as I know, nobody else uses Panamanian tobacco in their blends, and that's what gives black market a very unique flavor that people really seem to like. So
Right.
we're able to get our hands on some of that, and it's worked out well.
You mentioned Honduras, and we got a very good friend, Dr. Gabby Caffey, right across the road from you. He smiles.
He smiles. I'm sure he knows.
You know, Gabby?
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but yeah. I know
Oh,
of him.
okay.
Yeah.
Well, he's also another strong fighter for the industry. And
He's in the
obviously
Boutique
his
Cigar
Honduras cigars, the
Association.
Caffey 1901 are a fantastic blend. But with you having all 3 of the main players, except for Cuba, of course, but you got where basically all the hot markets are. You know,
Well, those are the 3 countries. Really,
besides Cuba, of course.
I mean,
Well,
anybody else is small potatoes.
We like to say that the best cigars are made by Cubans, but they all live in Honduras, Nicaragua, and the Dominican Republic now.
Well, yes, of
Yeah,
course they
yeah,
have now.
yeah.
they
They've
got
been there
3.
since what,
Yeah.
1961 or something?
59 when
Well,
they
what
ran.
about Cameroon?
Well, you know, we talked about the African. We had Ishmael
2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
Was it? Yeah.
and Chris Patterson, and they got a cigar from Africa, the Puro Africano, and it was amazing. We never
Totally
experienced-
African tobacco.
Yep.
Yep.
Very, very limited because obviously they don't produce a lot. And I would have to say it's
taste.
nothing like we've had before. Very unique smoke. Interesting, very interesting. Hi.
Do any of you remember when Alec Bradley introduced Trilogy, the triangular press cigar?
No.
No.
I don't.
No.
That's an interesting story, how he got that, how he made it, and why.
So, obviously you know what box press cigar is and what it looks like. We had a triangular press cigar. It was literally shaped like a triangle.
Huh.
And
Triangular.
the name of the line was called Trilogy.
Mhm.
It came with 3 different wrappers. It was a Corojo, a Maduro, and a Cameroon, and each came in 3 different sizes. So the whole theme was 3s, right? 3 sides, 3 wrappers, 3 sizes, and so we did use Cameroon for quite a while in that blend. And unfortunately, the blend went away after a number of years, but you never know. You never know when some of these old cigars come back. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Right. The African just blew the 3 of us away, 4 of us. Kyle, we had that on the show too, and we couldn't pick out the
notes.
notes.
Everything about it was unique. I mean, I smoked the entire cigar and I was just trying to grasp what is the note in this? What is it?
Something
smell?
kept you going, right? Something kept you hooked on that cigar.
It
Yeah.
kept me hooked. It kept me right to the end, and I said, "Boy, it's delicious. Whatever it is, it's good." So yeah,
It's really, when you think about it, it's really an art form to
Yeah.
blend the different tobaccos from different growing regions, even if it's from the same country,
Right.
from different regions, and coming up with a blend that's balanced with a little complexity. And you have some cigars that have a little peppery taste and some that are a little sweeter and things of that nature. But just to find those nuances, you really have to have people that understand the different tobaccos and the different regions. Because you can have a Criollo 98, leaf that's grown in 3 different regions, has 3 different flavors.
Absolutely.
So, but their characteristics will be similar. So it's really, when you go down to the factories, and that's why I said I'm like a kid in the candy store when I go down there, because when you go down to the factories, you know, one of the things they let you do is roll your own cigars.
Yeah.
So, you know, you start picking different tobaccos that you know you like, and you roll them together. And so the last trip we had, which was, I think, 2 years ago, we had our national sales meeting, and we took the whole crew down to the factory. We shut the offices down for a week, and we went down to Honduras, and we all got a chance to roll our own cigars. And I rolled a cigar that I thought was pretty good. And then one of the factory owners smoked my cigar and said, "This, you've got something here." You know, who knew? A Jewish kid from Canarsie. I mean, but so he rolled a couple bundles and sent them to me, and they aged and they smoked pretty good. So it's fun. It's an exciting experience, but learning the different tobaccos and learning what pairs well with each other, and you know, what feeds off of each other. It's quite an art form, really.
It is an art form. It
Yeah,
definitely
I
is.
had a similar experience when I went to the Bahamas to the Grey Cliff Hotel, and obviously they have cigar rollers in the Grey Cliff and stuff. And I got to sit in and roll my own cigars with a master roller that was there, and obviously he was from Cuba, and they can only be there for, I think it's like 4 or 5 months at a time, and then they have to go back to Cuba for a certain amount of time, and then they come back. So these guys have like rotation of rollers. So when one's ready to leave, the other ones are coming in, and they keep them going. But yeah, it was.
So, Kyle, did you actually roll the cigar?
I did. So and you know,
not easy. Right?
No, it isn't. And they paired me up with, you know, their master roller and blender, and he doesn't speak English at all. And here I am, a gringo in the Bahamas, you know, having a vacation of my life, and I'm trying to. He's showing me how to do it, and I'm kind of trying to mimic him, and it was really funny because, like, you know, in order for him to, like, you know, say no to me or whatever, he would slap my hand. So I would grab some of the fillers, the binders, and then my wrapper, and I'm pushing and bunching it together, you know, and everything, and then I'm getting ready to roll it, and then as I start to roll it, like, not even my first move, I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what's this happened? And he's like, and I'm like, oh, so tighter, you know, and then by the time I got through about 3 of my own cigars, you know, it was like an hour-long tour. It was great, but yeah, I rolled 3 cigars in an hour, so yeah, I'm not the world's greatest roller.
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
when you first told that story, you said it was ganja.
That was a different story, Bob. Different story, Bob.
Hey, Kyle, that's because you're.
And it was in Jamaica. No.
Kyle, that's because you don't produce enough thigh sweat to roll them up right.
The thigh sweat. There you go.
But
Bob
it was
and I rolled.
We rolled
great
From a
experience.
Cuban, and he taught us how to do it. Let me tell you, it was not easy.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It was, and then when you watched him do it in front of you, like, oh my God,
They make it look easy.
Yeah.
they
Oh,
do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
an art.
We
But
had-
it's like butchering animals or anything else.
Absolutely.
I mean, it requires a ton of practice.
Well, we had Karen Berger on last week,
And I saw
and Kiki, Don Kiki and Karen Berger's K line, and she rolled
700 in an hour.
no, she rolled
No,
200. That was the thing, 200 in an
200
hour.
in an hour?
I can't even fathom that just to see how
I mean,
it's going on
that's
there.
like one every.
Seconds, in
that-
seconds.
That's less than 30 seconds to roll a cigar.
I mean,
you know what's truly amazing? Not only the cigar rolling, but even when you're down at the factories and you go to the box factory and you see them putting the boxes together by hand.
So they're assembling the boxes by hand too.
Wow.
By hand.
Yeah.
You know, and look, it would be pretty simple to order your boxes from China and have them delivered, but the culture, the cigar culture doesn't work that way because you want to support the local communities.
exactly.
Absolutely.
You want to put, you know, if you're in Honduras, you want to get your boxes in Honduras. You want to put those people to work. If you're in Nicaragua, you want people in Nicaragua building your boxes, and they do it by hand, whether they're painting the boxes or silk screening or putting screws on the hinges by hand. I mean, it's not an electric drill. I mean, it's It's labor intensive. And I think if the consumers actually went down to the factory and saw what went in to producing a cigar, you walk away and you think to yourself, how could a cigar not cost you $50?
Right.
It is amazing. I mean, I
Yeah.
know it's almost like they work for piecemeal
That's what I
down
said
there.
before about this cigar. Incredible smoke and an amazing price point.
Yeah, it's a great
Blown away
cigar.
by it.
Thank
It's
you.
excellent. It's excellent. So what's the best or the top 2 or 3 cigars on the line right now that we can promote, or you want to tell people to turn on?
Well, that's kind of a tricky question because I think everybody has a different palate. It's no secret. My favorite Alec Bradley cigar of all time is the Coyol.
What?
And
Coyol?
Coyol is a farm in Honduras that we grow tobacco on. And Coyol actually is a palm tree. So these Coyol palm trees are on this farm. And the soil is very fertile and it's got very unique flavors. And we roll a cigar at our Raíces Cubanas factory in Honduras. And it's my all-time favorite cigar. So
That lower down, the Stelli's up on top. Is it further down in the middle? Is it more on the
It's in
ocean?
Honduras, Ronnie, which is a different country.
Honduras.
No,
So,
You
yeah.
got him again,
The
Frank. You got him
Nicaragua.
again.
how about Nicaragua?
it's close to the border. So
Okay.
it's close to the border. But I'll tell you what, I mean, Magic Toast is a phenomenal cigar that we make. I don't know if you've had Magic Toast. I love
So
it.
one of the guys mentioned that they wanted to
Fantastic
talk
cigar.
about that. He gave me the
love
thumbs
it.
up on the Magic Toast.
Magic Toast. I mean, Prensado has always been one of my favorites. I like the Prensado in the Corona Gorda size. It's a great size. I smoke, the Gatekeeper, I think is a phenomenal cigar. Both Project 40s, but I actually love the Maduro. The Maduro, I think, is a phenomenal cigar. And honestly, the cigar could sell for twice what we sell it for.
Wow.
It's a great cigar. So when you get your hands on that, you'll be happy that you did.
Okay.
Let's see, Kintsugi, one of the new cigars from Alec and Bradley, is also a great blend. I mean, there's so many good cigars. I mean, it's hard because I know people think I'm biased. I work with Alec Bradley and I'm naming all these cigars, but there's not really a cigar in our portfolio that I don't love.
Right.
There's just some that I love a little bit more than others. And like I said, my all-time favorite is Coyol. So if you haven't had it, you really need to try one. And they come, the size that's great in Coyol is we make a Petite Lancero.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a great size, and you really taste the wrapper, which is nice.
How
Awesome.
big is the line? How many lines do you guys have now?
Well, we have a lot. We have about 16 core lines,
Okay.
4. Okay.
but we make a lot of cigars for a lot of different people.
Okay.
So it's a pretty wide portfolio.
Awesome.
Not
Yeah.
bad. Well,
Like I said, we
great.
have something for everybody. If somebody wants something a little on the milder side, we certainly have something coming out of the Dominican, which is our Occidental Reserve, which is one of his very first brands. We also have the Alec Bradley Connecticut that comes out of Honduras, which has got a little bit more flavor, a little bit more on the medium side than mild. And then we have things that are a little bit closer to the medium to full body. So we've got
What would
things
you
across the
say is
spectrum.
probably your strongest in taste?
Probably for me personally, I think Magic Toast.
Magic Toast?
Magic Toast.
yeah,
Okay.
Jeff said he loved it. He
I
thought it
love
was
that
phenomenal.
cigar.
Yeah, it's a great cigar. That wouldn't be my first cigar of the day in the
Not for
morning.
everybody though, because if you're a first-time cigar smoker, that wouldn't be the cigar I would give up.
But I like a strong cigar myself, so
Bob, I'll give you an example. My first cigar every morning on my way into work is a Project 40 Toro.
Oh, okay.
I light that up when I get my Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee in the car, and here I come rolling into work. Got about a half-hour drive, and it's thoroughly enjoyable.
Nice. A great way of waking up.
Dan, would you like to trade vocations?
He ain't coming up this way, Jeff. Put it that way.
We
That
have
man
a-
is staying in
I'd love to
Florida.
take over for you.
I would, but I just sold my snowblower, so I don't know if I'm gonna
we have a question
Start
from the
move,
audience,
start move.
Michael. If we have a quick second, still, the
Sure.
audience, Bruce is asking,
The Project 40 on the band still says experimental. Is it still experimental at this stage, or?
You know, it was a unique story how that came about, but it was an experimental blend when it first came out. And when we, you know, Alan's very much into the story behind every cigar that we have, and he just couldn't think of a great, you know, unique name, so to speak. And then he just looked at us and he said, "Why don't we just call it the Experimental Series?" So that works.
And it sticks.
You know, it's you know, sometimes the stories come together. I'll tell you a funny story about the Magic Toast. I don't know if you've seen the box, but if you open the box, the inside vista has a kind of a neat artwork, and there's a picture of a moth, and it's starlit and things of that nature. And how that story and that name came about is Alan and Ralph went down to Honduras on one of their factory trips, and Hugo Endemano, who owns the Raíces Cubanas factory, said, "I need you to meet me at the farm. Come straight to the farm. You got to see the tobacco that we've grown here. You have to come straight to the farm." So they get to the farm, and it's just a beautiful moonlit night, stars shining, and there was a moth flying around the whole time they were there. And they're looking at all these beautiful, you know, tobacco plants coming out of the ground, and everything looks so fantastic. And he hands them a couple cigars, which happens to be the Magic Toast blend, but we didn't know it at the time. And they lit up the cigars, and they were smoking the cigars, and both Alan and Ralph were just enjoying the cigar. And Hugo pulls out a bottle of Glenfiddich 14 and said, let's have a drink. And I think Alan's the one that said, "This is like a magical toast."
Nice.
Wow, what a great way coming up.
So
with
the story is exactly how the name came about. And Magic Toast is the name of the cigar, and you see the moth on the vista with the stars in the sky, and it's been a big hit for us. So, you know, people are really enjoying it, and it's a great stick. It's a really good stick.
That's almost as good as how the beer Blue Moon got its name. Basically, the owner said that beer like this comes around once in a blue moon.
That's it. There you go.
Well, you never know how names come up. They're definitely very interesting, and it sticks. And I love that story altogether.
Oh,
Hey,
that's kind of-
Mike, would you be interested in staying on board for Stump the Chooch and see how Frank makes us look like a bunch of jackasses? You got a little bit of time?
Let's do it.
All right,
All
that's
right.
good, Mike. You can also partake. Remember, this is open to everyone for participation. So, except for myself, because I know the answers, obviously.
By the way, Mike, do you happen to know a Kimberly Serota by any chance?
That is my unbelievably beautiful wife.
She's watching you.
She always is.
She's making sure that you. It's called checking up on you, Mike.
Yeah.
She said, "What do you mean you're working late?" I said, "I can prove it." No.
Yeah, well, you got a good woman that's interested in you, you know?
Absolutely.
Even though, you know, your other love is a cigar. So, yep, that would be great if you want to join, stay on board. Folks, tonight on Stump the Chooch, we're going to have a wonderful, fantastic camouflage hat.
With no pipe?
No, not a pipe tonight.
No,
we got
no,
some
not a
from
hat
Corona
tonight.
Cigars. Jeff was nice enough to donate this for tonight's winner of Stump the Chooch. Really is nice. And look, I didn't wear it. The cardboard is still in there. All right. It's brand new. So,
Kyle,
Kyle.
they would find any hair in there anyway, but
Hey.
Coming from another bald guy.
Maybe Frank might leave one. Maybe. All right. Anyway, folks, stay here. Here we go. We're going to have a little fun. Frank has got about 4 questions for us, and then to the audience. All right.
take it away, Frank.
Take it away.
All right, here we go. You know how I love history, and that's why we do this, so that people can actually look back and say, "Hey, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that." But I'm going to take you back to when Bob was a toddler, back to 1902. And this association was founded in 1902. And most of us probably are members.
NRA.
Well, 1902 would be a little early, Kyle, but it's a good thought. It's a good thought. If you actually drive a vehicle, you're most likely part of this, and it was founded in 1902.
The A and AAA.
AAA. Ron, look at Ron. I have to give you.
Oh,
You go, Ronnie.
Yeah.
There you go. And
AAA was
that's when
founded-
Bob was born, so he should answer that.
I wasn't driving yet.
I think that's kind of interesting. How many cars were on the road then?
3.
Mr. Ford, Mr. Chrysler.
So I thought that was very, very interesting. Back in 1902, AAA was founded. So
I worked for them, by the way, just to let you know.
I'm gonna now move to 1933, and this was, the original movie that was released and premiered in New York in 1933, and it kind of, broke ground in a lot of different ways.
Gone with the Wind.
No, Bob.
Come out in New York.
Bob, that's a little early. Even for
nice.
Bob, that answer was way what I like to call donkey-ish.
Oh.
That was a donkey-ish answer. I'm sorry, Bob. I mean, when you hear what this is, it's basically involves the Empire State Building.
King Kong.
King Kong.
Oh.
1933. So you guys from New York should have known this. Come on.
I did get it. I did get it.
I'm expecting more from you, Michael. Come on.
That's a couple of months before I was born.
Okay.
There you go. And you look great. I'm telling you. Keep taking the Viagra. You're young.
Jeez.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to move down to I'm going to go to 1954. And this was kind of a major discovery. Let's call it a biological discovery. And it made history, and it was really important. Has a lot to do with even some investigative purposes now, especially now. They use it for investigative purposes for crime scenes and things.
It's when
Fingerprinting.
they discovered what DNA was.
It was the discovery of the double helix DNA. That's right, Jeff. Nice answer.
There you go.
Double helix was the
Frank, you're not happening, man. We're 3 for 3 on you.
Frank, what does DNA stand for?
do not
Dinucleic
understand.
ionic acid.
That's right.
Boy, Jeff is really on top of this tonight.
Yeah, you're not. Thank God we're not jackasses yet.
No.
One more for us, and then we'll hit the crowd. We got Bruce and Barry and a bunch of people ready to answer. They've been answering all along.
Well, Bruce will probably get it. as
Oh,
always,
yeah.
but go ahead.
All right.
One more for us, and then for the crowd.
You should all know this. Okay.
All right.
1983. This day in history. It was the final episode of this comedy series.
MASH.
Matt, look at Ronnie.
I was going to say MASH. That was a comedy?
My
Oh, I
favorite.
call it a comedy.
My favorite show.
Man, we watched it. We lose this.
That was a great show.
That was a
All
good
right, not bad. So no one was a
my
chooch
mother
tonight,
was.
Frank, except for Bob. We're gone with the win.
Yeah, well,
I'm always the
1939.
chooch,
But-
so
What about what's that, Kyle?
I said I'm
All right.
always a chooch.
Shoot!
It is the chooch time, folks. Here
Shoot!
it
okay,
is.
this one is
Beautiful hat.
out for the audience.
This goes out to the audience, and this is going to be interesting because I'm going to stray from this day in history because I know Bruce knows the website that I use, so I'm steering.
Oh, he does.
Oh, how does he know that?
Well, he probably does. He's honest. He's winning every week, so I want someone else to win.
You got to get a different website to get this information.
Yeah, but history doesn't change, Bob. You
Sure.
understand? History doesn't-
You know what? You could make some of this shit up yourself.
Yeah, make it up, Frank, as you go along.
Yeah, well, this one's
That you went on and lost all the sandwiches.
well, this one's going to be a good one because this one has something to do with our guest and their line.
Okay.
So
Okay.
all right.
I'm going to need the audience to tell me what are the 5 cigars? There were 5 cigars that basically kind of made Alec Bradley. 5 cigars.
Ooh,
The
wow.
5 cigars that truly put Bradley and Allen's stamp on the industry. 5
It's a
cigars. I
music
need
gig,
the name
Kyle.
of all 5.
And we'll have to go a little bit longer because 5 is a lot to ask for.
I know, but there are
Kyle
5.
and I are watching the Facebook pages as they're writing. Go ahead, here's that music.
I know that Michael knows.
Well, he better know. If he doesn't know, he'll tell me he knows. All right, we're getting nobody. Frank, that was a tough one, buddy.
Well, but I don't want to give away the hat. I need that hat when I go hunting, so I'm keeping that hat.
Are you gonna go hunting in the winter? I mean,
Going hunting for cigars.
I'm going, yes. When I go cigar hunting, but there are 5 cigars that truly, basically, have made the mark.
We get no response.
I got nothing.
Wow.
Everybody.
No response.
Got
Are they
nothing.
that worried?
Can I give a couple of hints?
Give some hints. Go ahead.
How about I give you? How about I give you one of the cigars?
There you go.
Okay.
All right, you got to come up with
Tempest.
4 then.
Tempest is 1, correct.
You want to
Come
wait?
on,
till you
Bruce.
give it-
Come on, Dave. Barry, what's going on?
No, it's not the Nobly.
Chernobyl.
Wow.
Come on, number 1 cigar of the year, 2011.
That's an easy one. Number 1 cigar. 90. What was the rating on that cigar?
96.
96.
Wow. My God.
Whoa.
Holy
And we
cow.
actually talked about it. The name was said today
Uh-huh.
on the show.
It
How
was.
about the Prensado?
Hey, but you're not part of the crowd.
Okay, so that's number 2. We have the Prensado, number 2. 3
All
more.
right, hold on. We got
Oh.
Bruce Stark figured it out. He called Alexa. We got Family Blend, the Prasado, the Tempest, Black Market, Nico Puro.
No.
No. Okay.
How did no?
All good cigars though.
All good
Yeah.
cigars, but no.
We
All right,
have.
we got some woman called Kimberly. Don't know her last name. He said the Linnaeus, the Black
Lineage.
Market, the Max, the Tempest, and the Prasado.
Hey, Ron, do you want to say that name again? Lineage.
Lineage.
The lineage.
No.
Is she close?
No, we have 3 now.
Okay,
How about the Puro
Kimberly.
Rosado?
You want to give the 3 that we have?
We have the Max as 1. We have the Prensado as 2. The Tempest as 3.
How about Puro Rosado?
Hey, I don't need Jeff out there answering.
Sorry.
No, Bruce, there is no Ronnieism. I didn't hear it.
I'm not here.
We also did speak about the very first cigar that kind of got them off their feet with Ralph Montero. So
I don't
we
know,
did
Frank.
mention
I don't
that.
think
Time
anybody
is
wants
up,
this
man.
hat.
It's out of the Dominican Republic.
Nobody
There we
wants
go.
the hat. Nobody
and
wants
it
the
was
hat.
and it was actually blended in whose factory then?
Wow, we're giving it all away.
No,
Yeah,
nobody
Yeah,
got it. Nobody
You know
got
what?
it.
We're calling
Nobody
it.
gets it. That's why.
Nobody
That's
got it.
Barry even starts in with Ronnieism now. Barry,
Wait,
hey.
what color is his wife's eyeshadow?
So we have Tempest, Prensado, Max, Occidental Reserve.
yep.
What's the 5th?
One more.
Nobody got it, man.
Might as well
Time's
give us
up.
the answer. Yeah, we these guys should have cheated a long time ago, and they didn't.
Nobody
so,
got
what,
it.
What is the 5th?
What's the 5th one, Frank?
I thought we got them all. Prensado. Hold on.
Prensado, Max, Tempest, Occidental Reserve.
And the one that is shaped like a triangle. Trilogy.
There you go.
There we go.
Hey,
Trilogy,
good one, Frank, but that's hard for these guys. I think. I know you could have given the hat away, but you wanted that bad. You want that hat?
Give him the hat, Ronnie. Give him the hat.
I'm gonna send it to you. Jesus, he kill the people here on this one.
No, you know why? Because I wanted people to do a little research.
Well,
You know,
there
it's
you go.
it's one thing. It's important for people to kind of get a sense as to what makes a cigar company actually take off and become a household name like Alan's done. And I give him kudos because he basically was in $60,000 in debt, if I'm not mistaken. And
Really?
Wow.
Well,
he was able to get
where
himself
he is
out.
today. That is a tremendous
Quite an
story.
accomplishment.
Really, really
Yeah.
awesome. Really awesome.
Alan didn't take a paycheck for 3 years
Oh my God!
Whoa.
Wow,
building this company.
that's a fantastic story.
Well, that's how it goes when you're starting.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
We got
Michael-
this a lot.
Michael, we want to thank you. Thank
It
you.
was fun. It was a lot of fun, guys. I thank
All
you.
right,
Well,
thank you.
Thank
we
you,
look
Michael.
forward to hearing from you again and seeing you hopefully in person at Las
Absolutely.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And
And on a side note, if you guys decide, because there's lots of pipe smokers who smoke cigars, you guys want to drop into the Chicago Pipe Club
Yeah.
pipe show
July 31st.
July 31st.
Biggest show in the world.
We're willing to have you.
Yeah, get a table.
That sounds good.
All right. Michael, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Michael.
you so
Thank you,
much,
Michael.
everybody.
Appreciate it.
Have a good night.
You too, Michael.
buddy. Take care.
And for all the rest of you who are listening tonight, we truly hope you had a wonderful time. We learned a lot about Alec Bradley cigars, and we had a lot of fun. Until next week, keep them smoking, everyone. Have a great night. Take care.
Take care.
Good night,
buddy.
everyone.
Good night.